Hello there, I'm L.
And I am P. Welcome to LP Cricket.
The debate and discussion on who are the top 10 test batsmen of all time have continued to rage through the ages.
At different points in time, lists have been developed and shared with us through magazines, TV programs, and internet portals.
However, I could never convince myself of any of the reasons. It never appeared objective or thorough enough.
I totally agree. Personal bias, political correctness, recent performances always seem to have influenced the list that is prepared. I remember seeing a list where Sachin was put ahead of Sir Donald Bradman, and another one where Mahendra Singh Dhoni was considered in the top 10 list led by Sir Donald. Can you imagine?
In yet another list, Virat Kohli was considered in the top 10. Sometimes Lara appears, sometimes Ponting. I understand the names. They apparently sound logical, but the question remains, why? Why A? Why B? Can we not develop a list ourselves?
Of course we can. Why don't we do it? Let's do it.
Let's do this. Consider this. Test cricket has just completed 140 years. More than 2,500 batsmen representing various nations across venues. Where do we start? How do we start?
Let's do this. You just think of a few batsmen that come to your mind straight away.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to worry which era they belong to. Don't have to worry which country. Let's just name a few names.
Just names. Bradman, Sobers, Richards, Gavaskar, Tendulkar, Ponting, Lara, Dravid.
That's a rather exclusive list. But can you tell me what their batting averages are?
Batting averages. Where do I check? Cricket Info, House Stat.
Yeah, we can check anywhere.
Let me see. Here are the averages. So what?
You remember these batsmen because we have read about them and their exploits time and again. But what do their averages tell us?
What? Except that Bradman is 99.94 and all the rest are in their 50s.
Correct. So that's what it is. 50 average in a test match cricket is a huge deal. So can we not start our list from there? Let's take all the batsmen in the history of test cricket who have a batting average of 50 or more.
Good point. Good point. Okay, let me see. Again, give me some time. Wow. There are only 44 batsmen in the history of test cricket who have a batting average more than 50. Of course, Bradman is an obscene 99.94. So, how do we put it? Sir Don plus 43. Only.
Yeah, but you have to also remember, if you look closely at this list, it doesn't feature the likes of Hashim Amla or a David Warner, Michael Clarke or a Graham Smith, even Inzamam or Sehwag. India's current obsession, Virat Kohli also doesn't feature in the list.
My God. But I agree. But we are here to list the top 10 outstanding batsmen. So where do we've got 43. Where do we go from here? What do you think?
Let me ask you this. Now, why did you remember the batsmen that you did? Tendulkar, Lara, Ponting.
We have seen them play again and again, repeatedly. All over the media, there was
Correct.
heard about them.
Again and again is the key. We are looking for outstanding batsmen who have been consistent over time.
Again and again. That's what you're trying to say.
Exactly.
So you're saying that our list must consist of players who have done exceedingly well over a period of time or have played a minimum number of tests. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, since this is a comparison across eras, let us take the example of Don. Now tell me, from any discussion on batting, can Don be excluded?
To a young man from Bowral, Donald George Bradman.
Sir Donald Bradman has played 52 test matches over a period of 20 years and ended his career with a batting average of 99.94 runs per innings.
Of course not. Let's take playing a minimum number of 50 tests then as the added condition.
Let's do that. So now we have two factors to consider. A batting average of 50 or more per test match,
Okay.
and a minimum number of 50 test matches. Okay? Let's go back and revisit the list again.
Okay, I'll do that. Wow, the revised list now consists only of 30 batsmen.
So, You're saying that in 140 years of Test cricket, only 30 batsmen have got a career average of 50 or more,
Yes.
having played at least 50 Test matches? That's rare, man. I like our progress.
So, agreed. So, what next? What do we do after this?
I guess we'll have to raise the bar again. If Donald Bradman has retired with a batting average of 99.94, we definitely must have batsmen with averages of 80s, 70s, or 60s, or...
There are no 80s or 70s if you consider the minimum of 50 Test matches. Wait, oops, there are only 2 in their 60s. Only 2. Okay, we see that achieving an average of 60 after playing 50 Test matches, that is a very rare feat.
Can we at least see now batsmen who have hit an average of 60 sometimes during their career, having played at least 50 Test matches?
Yeah,
Of course, their final average, we understand, will be less than 60.
that's a good angle. I accept. We can try that. There are 5 more added to the 2, and their career averages are well above 55.
Okay, so now we have got 7 more batsmen besides Don,
Yes.
right? So this is a very elite list. Why don't you share the names with us?
All right, but we are yet to identify the complete 10. Remember, we have just done 8, and we are yet to rank them either. So I will list them, but only in the alphabetical order of their surnames. Is that?
Well, that's fine, that's fine. At least let's see the names. Okay, Jack Hobbs, Len Hutton, Hammond, Ken Barrington. Are you sure? What about the stalwarts like Weeks, Walcott? How about Richards, Lara?
Wait, Weeks and Walcott could not make it to our list because they did not play 50 Tests. But here I would like to make a very special mention of the great Sir Everton Weeks.
Cricket. Everton Weeks, a Lancashire League player, is their batting star.
Speaking of all the greats that you mentioned, Richards, Lara, Ponting, why don't we have a look at some of their records?
Yeah, let's do it.
Look at Richards. You will see that he hit 60 earlier in his career, before he played 50 Test matches. But after playing 50, you see it is sort of going down. Yeah, that was the interesting part. And if you look at Sachin Tendulkar, who is among those greats who never reached 60 in its lifetime, he made a quick increase after his beginning of his career. And after playing 50 Test matches, he went nearly up to 60 after about 90 odd Test matches, and then there was a slight decline after that. So you can see that it has been extremely difficult to reach the average of 60 in a lifetime after playing 50 Test matches. Tendulkar is joined by an elite group who never touched an average of 60.
So you are suggesting that based on our criteria, even these batsmen do not make the list.
It appears so.
So then let's get back to the elite list that we have of 8 and talk about them in a little more detail, shall we?
Okay, let's get back to them. Here it is now.
Ken Barrington rarely comes in any discussion of top batsmen, but he retired after his 82nd Test match with a career average in excess of 58. He touched 60 for the last time in his 75th Test match, maintaining it till his 76th, thereafter falling towards his final average of 58.76.
And the last time Hammond touched 60 was in his 71st Test and continued till the 81st. Only 4 Tests before he retired with a career average of 58.46.
Jack Hobbs touched an average of 50 after his 14th Test and 55 after his 15th. His average never fell below 55 from there on till he retired after his 61st Test match. He touched 60 for the last time in his 55th Test match. Till the first innings of his 58th, he maintained a career average in excess of 59.
Wow. Len Hutton, in the meantime, touched and maintained 60 for the last time between his 68th and 72nd Test. His average started to fall after his last series in Australia and New Zealand.
Steve Smith is the only current batsman in the list. You may wish to note that should he decide to leave cricket now, his batting average will be higher than even Sutcliffe.
In the recently concluded Border Gavaskar Trophy, he scored 499 runs at an average of 70. His career graph so far says it all.
Last time Sobers touched 60 was in his 82nd Test match, coming very close, 59.19 in his 89.
What about Sutcliffe? Nothing to talk about?
On the contrary, he needs to be talked about separately. In his life, he had reached a career highest of 69.80 after his 40th Test. After crossing 4,000 runs in his first innings of the 43rd Test, he maintained an average of 67.10. Besides Sir Donald Bradman, no one else reached this height in course of their careers. Moreover, Sutcliffe's first innings score of 64 and thereafter he never had an average below 60 in his entire career. It appears even Sir Donald Bradman did not achieve this.
Wow, that's a big feat. But this is an exercise to find the top 10. We have got only 8. How do we get the other 2?
What if we change the parameters a bit?
Okay.
Instead of a career average of 60, now let us look at a career average of more than 55. But instead of 50 test matches, let us look at those batsmen who have played at least 100. So if we loosen the criteria on one side, we have to put in an additional one on the other.
Wow, so more than average of 55 but playing 100 test matches. That's a very stringent requirement. I think that anybody complying with that deserves to be in the top 10. Let's see. Wow, Sangakkara. I always knew he's good, but I didn't know he was this great to make this list.
Even Jack Callis, he quietly goes about doing his job, and that's why very often is escaping the media hype. Now you also must keep in mind that both these batsmen are all-rounders, one being a wicket-keeper and the other one having close to 300 test wickets. Hats off to them.
Hats off. But I think now we have got our top 10. So here they are again, the complete list of 10 in alphabetical order.
But you see, besides Sobers and Sir Donald, none of the other batsmen you mentioned in the beginning are featuring in this list.
I'm startled as you are. But it's all based on statistics, and statistics do not lie.
I agree. But now comes the more difficult task. How are we going to rank them?
Yes, we can't base it on averages alone, right?
No, we can't.
Something that makes batting difficult.
Why don't you consider the fourth innings score? It is an acknowledged fact in Test cricket that scoring in the fourth innings is always most difficult.
Good point. I think once we look at that, what you're saying is that we will see that the fourth innings is always lower than the first, second, or even the third innings.
Precisely, that's what I was thinking.
Okay, let's do it then.
Let's see how it looks.
Done. This is how the list looks with the fourth innings averages put in.
And arranged in alphabetical order.
Right.
About Sir Donald Bradman, there can be no doubt. He remains at number 1. Even with a much lower fourth innings average, he is way above the rest.
No doubt on this one. But who comes after Don?
Smith is a current player, and his career average should logically slide over time. Moreover, he has the worst fourth innings average. He is without doubt number 10.
Well, Sutcliffe has done something even Don did not achieve. Although his fourth innings average slides a bit, he has to be number 2.
Agreed. However, Ken Barrington, in spite of his heroics, is let down by his fourth innings average. I'm inclined to put him at number 9.
Hammond then moves to 3, right? His fourth innings may be in the 40s, but he has played 85 matches.
I have no objection to that. Sobers will follow him at 4. I think we should agree that the difference between Sobers and Hammond is negligible.
Agreed. Let us move to number 5. I am inclined to favor Hobbs over Sangha. His fourth innings average is better than his career average, followed by Hutton at 6.
I agree about Hobbs, but you favour Hutton over Sangakkara? Why? Hutton's fourth innings average is slightly higher than Sangha, but Sangha's career average is higher, having played much more. I would rank Sangha over Hutton. Sangha at 6 and Hutton at 7.
Okay, you have a point there. That leaves Callis at 8. But was putting Barrington at 9 a bit unfair? I mean, look at his career average.
Well, the fourth innings average is being emphasized here. Barrington is 4 percentage points less than Callis, having played less than half the number of tests. By the same logic, we have transferred Smith to 10, remember?
Okay. Anything else left to be done?
I was thinking, what if we take Sir Donald out of this list? He looks totally from a different planet.
And leave it as a top 9.
No, why don't you work on the last batsman with our viewers?
Okay.
Let us put in some additional criteria and a list of names and see what we come up with.
Additional criteria? What criteria is left now?
Obviously, the carrier average needs to go down further, say below 55. But the test matches need to go up, say to 125.
Why 125? Why not 150?
Only a handful of players has more than 150 test matches, and this will include even Gavaskar and Lara from the list. By choosing 125, we have already excluded from our list Javed Miandar, Yunus Khan, Viv Richards, Matthew Hayden and Abby de Villiers, all between 100 and 124 test matches.
Oh, this is getting more and more brutal. Shall we keep it to 100 tests then?
No. We are here to choose the best, not the ones we want to be in the list of the best. Let's keep at it.
Alright then. I see your point. What next after this?
The criteria for the fourth innings stays. Along with the viewers, let us think of something more. Consider what circumstances make batting even more challenging.
Okay.
Let us make it as objective as we can. After all, we are here to choose the 10 greatest batsmen of all time.
There's no controversy there. So what I'll do, I will list the batsmen in the order of their career averages,
Right.
and I'll put the fourth innings average alongside, and we'll take it from there.
Let's do it.
Okay, let's do that. Here's a list of batsmen who definitely merit a discussion while deciding on the last member in our rather elite list.
So, in your opinion, viewers, who should it be?
So this is M.
And this is P.
We hope that you enjoyed watching our video. We look forward to receiving your comments and your view of the 11th greatest batsman of all time. Goodbye.
Bye.